I just drove this truck 2,000 miles across the country after buying it sight unseen off Marketplace in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. But in this video, I want to take this truck from this to this and get it ready for a show I'm planning on going to in Canada in August. First things first. All of the parts I'm putting on the truck today are from 4State Trucks. So if you guys want your trucks to look awesome, you can use my code Project10 for 10% off your entire order. 4State Trucks, they have a mobile app, makes it super easy. Unless of course you hate saving money. What do you guys think about this? A stick? No, toys. Ow. Ready? The plan, should you choose to accept, I have two 170-gallon tanks and they're about a third full. I'm gonna pump this tank into that tank, take this tank off, set this tank over there, pump that tank into the tank that's off so I can take that tank off. It hooks them up to the box.
You guys are something else. I missed you guys. All right, all right.
It's amazing what a little lubrication does, and heat, and ugga-duggas. Thank goodness these tanks aren't big. Nope, not all the lines yet. Hold on. These tanks are. This is totally unrelated to that truck video, but my new e-dirt bike just showed up and I'm going to be doing a review video on my second channel, the other 99 projects, which you guys should go check out if you don't already know about it. If you guys are watching this video, go check out my channel, 99 projects. I have like 130 other videos, all family friendly, something you can put your kids in front of and you don't have to worry about foul language, stuff like that. Go check it out. Okay, simmer down. So therein lies that issue. The steel bolts have been corroded to the aluminum. I'd like to introduce you guys to somebody. Everybody, this is Please. Please, this is everybody. You just have to ask with a proper tone of voice. phone is ringing. Hello. Boy, it's starting to look like a million Iranian rial. Guys, if you see something I'm taking off and you think you can use it, you're more than welcome to shoot me an email, make me an offer. I try to save most of these parts that I take off that are old because some of this stuff is, as Jeremy puts it, unobtainium. The problem is if it sits here too long, it ends up in the scrapyard. And Cab Over Outlaws about took my head off because I scrapped some heat shields off an old Cab Over. I shouldn't have. I should have saved them. But if I saved everything, I'd still have it all. Shipped at buyer's expense. The mud flaps, although America must go. So these are the new ones. Mr. In-N-Out's here. He's late, as usual. A wizard is never late. Roto back. Can I have some of it?
No. Oh, it's collapsing in the middle. Oh, boy. Woo! Got any underpants down here? I voted you. Is it closed? No.
Wait, why not? Not the same time. Oh yeah!
Great parts.
What a beautiful day it is. Check this out. That is a baby possum. My sister found it in her chicken coop and the mother was totally nowhere to be found, so try to save it or let it die, and I'm not gonna let it die. So she asked me if I wanted to try to save it, and I was like, yeah. He's just snuggled in his little nest, sleeping. I'm gonna put him somewhere not near all the welding and cutting sparks. Keep an eye on him, see how he does. Hey guys, got both the puppies down here today. I love it when a plan comes together and you don't fall off a ladder. Nobody's up and around and you crawling around, buddy. You feeling better? Silly guy. It's crazy how strong he is. For being so small. Oh. Google said he can eat eggs and water at this age, so. So those are clear watermelon lights in that double housing, and also it's got a trigger light, so there's a different color. And I want you guys to tell me what color you think would look best on this truck. And hopefully by the end of the video, I'll have those working and you'll see what color I picked. You guys will see these lights installed in a matter of seconds. And the reality of that doesn't show up on camera is it's taken me about an hour and a half to get the lights, the brackets hooked up, the lights wired up, put together, and brought out here to this point. I got the other light installed, and I still have to feed this down through the door and pull it in. Just the reality of the situation. I see a lot of people ask, like, why don't you post more often? This stuff just takes time, and it gets so condensed to what you guys see. I've come to a standstill because I'm waiting for the sandblasters to get here and blast the back half of this frame. So there's a coolant leak down there. I gotta jack the cab up. If you don't come undone right now, something bad's gonna happen. I'm just gonna start jacking and hopefully it goes up. So this is actually an air assist cab jack, and the guy I bought it from said it does work, the air assist. The cab jack works, but I'm noticing that it's leaking right out of here, and this is just an RTV seal. So I'm gonna yank this off. If the cab jack works, it's worth resealing. Oh, I guess we're gonna make a huge mess. Let's try hooking this up to air. See what that does. Why did I lift the cab up? I don't remember. Coolant leak. That's why I lifted it up. Ouch. Found the coolant leak. Totally dry, and with just a matter of seconds you can see it leaking out of there. And if I grab it, it's hand tight. Probably ought to fix that. Pop these screws and tighten it up. Loose as a Christmas goose. Knock on wood, this truck really had like no leaks aside from this coolant leak that appeared halfway home. It's a good thing you can't get in here and tighten this. I do this thing where I forget that I have a toolbox with wheels and a concrete pad to roll it across. And I walk back to the shop 13 times for the right wrench. My coolant budget just went way down. Perfect. Couldn't hurt to check the air filter out. You always want to have a few leaves in with your air filter. Not just leaves, sticks. Who doesn't want a couple of sticks in with their air filter, you know? I'm just gonna get a new air filter. It's earned it. Just got back from the wallet draining store, Napa, never any parts anywhere, and they did not have most of the filters I needed. So I can't change the fluids on this at the moment. Get your toy? Let me see. Ready? Let me throw it. Ready? Ready? Good boy. Ready? Oh, Max. Not as spry as he used to be. These are much smaller tanks, which I like because I think it'll make the single axle look a little bit better when there's space between the tank and the wheels. I'm hoping I can reuse this set of holes for the one tank bracket. I'll probably have to drill a new set here. I need to mock this up and make sure nothing's gonna be in the way. These stacks are going away, but the frame is gonna stay because it's kind of a cool headache rack. I'm just gonna cut them off at the top and then put a top over it, and it'll continue to serve a purpose as a headache rack. Well, all the creaking noises are really confidence inspiring. Here's a rough idea what it's going to look like. So both the tank brackets will work right here. Still have plenty of room on the tank. And it gives a bunch of space between the tank and the rear axle, which makes the truck feel like it's longer than it actually is. It's like if you were remodeling a house, you want open concept, recessed lighting and shiplap.
Ow! God! I guess I don't need that finger. Oh. Get off of there. Wasn't asking. Son of a...
I don't really know how to get that thing down. It's too bad I don't have like a overhead crane. I guess I could just knock it off of there. Probably gonna regret that. This is dumb, and I have regrets. Oh, it broke a brand new grinding disc. That's $1.50 I'll never get back. So what's cool about this is I'll retain this as like a headache rack. I can still hang all my chains and stuff off this, and it'll mount the stacks, but I'm not using those as stacks. The really easy thing to do here would be to put just flat plate caps on those, weld them out so you don't get any more rainwater in, and be done with it. But I'm stupid, and I have an idea that would make it different, which will take 4 times as long. And there is my idea. Only took about 2 hours to make both of those. I could have capped them in 15 minutes. Why take the easy road when you can just take the hard road? I was a little skeptical about taking the time to do that, and it did take me about 2 hours to cut them, weld them, grind them, put them up, weld them, grind them all back. But I'm pretty happy with how those things turned out. I think it adds a little bit of subtle something to the truck, and I like it. Glad I took the time to do it. Boy, it is just chaos and pandemonium back here. I got my stack brackets up. I'll set the stacks next. In case you can't tell, I'm hard at work. Ouch. I love it. Next day here, and I wanna, before I set the stacks, I want to paint up the frame. I tried to get somebody to come out and sandblast this, but nobody wants to show up and do work for money anymore. So I just power washed it, and I'll paint over it. Don't leave your garbage around. Speaking of garbage, I paid $10 for this can. It's about 2/3 full, and no worky. I'm taking this back to Tractor Supply. Got a package in the mail. I get questions all the time on pocket change, my 359 Peterbilt, and what's going on with that, and why haven't I done a video on it. So I've kind of come to a standstill of this. I've done a bunch of work to it. One of the things that I want to do sooner than later, however, is this thing needs injectors in the worst way. So if you start it up, I'll show you in a minute. It just pours blue smoke and it will not stop. I've replaced the turbo, so I know reasonably confidently it's not the turbo, pretty much the injectors. So I got a set of injectors from Area Diesel Service, and I'm gonna throw them in there and hopefully we can get pocket change up and going here. I actually called Area Diesel Service on another project I'm working on, and they were extremely helpful with that. So while I was on the phone with them, I said, hey, you guys happen to have a set of injectors for a big cam Cummins? And they were like, you know what? That's probably something we have. So if you guys need fuel system related stuff, go check out Area Diesel Service and tell them I sent you. If you were ever wondering what a big cam Cummins injector looked like, don't wander too far, you'll get lost. That will not clear up. That'll just continue to smoke like that no matter what. Boy, I'll tell you, I'm nervous doing this. I don't want to mess it up. I really love this truck. But what am I always saying? I can do hard things. These are the hold downs for the injectors. Noticing that there's a couple of O-ring pieces in here. Looks like they're kind of deteriorated. And here are the brand new injectors from Area Diesel Service. You will reuse the push rod here. The manual, which I for certainly have, says give it some oil. The screen faces toward the exhaust side. And towards the exhaust. Hammer handle. Push them down. Back in with a push rod. Screen toward the exhaust side. Cummins approved hammer handle. Couple of clicks down. There's another video where a guy just flipped this rocker out of the way, and then you can get right to that. So I'm going to try it and see if it works. That would save taking off the rocker boxes. There's usually a core on these injectors, so use caution whenever you might damage them coming out. Oiled up, screen facing forward. There you go. There is 2 clicks, so it's like a dun 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 dun. Okay, I'll stop. And new one. Well, son of a gun. I made a humongous mess. I did not think that that would happen. Well, you live and learn. Something new every day. I'm an idiot, and I didn't even think about the fact that there are ports going up through the rocker boxes into where the jakes are, because jakes run on oil pressure. I could get so much more done if I wasn't dumb. That did fix the problem. The smoke did clear up there for a brief second, until I realized the error of my ways. Price is converted, but you can't put the poop back in the goose. So I'm gonna finish reassembling this and I'm gonna go take this thing and wash it. But the injectors from Area Diesel Service did fix the problem, and I am really excited about that because that means I will be driving this more, and hopefully there will be more videos on it in the future. Get this thing off the pad, get the overcomings back up here. Fry this drill. Oh yeah. Boys, I love that. 4-state trucks. Project 10. Save 10% off your entire order, unless you hate saving money. Boy, this thing is really coming together. I gotta check the height on those things because we might be a touch over 13.6. 17 feet 4 inches. Close enough. I know I'm jumping around a lot here, but I tried drilling those holes with the bit I got and it's not really working. I'm not a huge fan of torching holes in frames. I'll do it, but I'm trying to be nice to this truck. So instead of blowing holes in this with a torch, I'm gonna go find a mag drill and drill it the right way. I just can't go get that until tomorrow. So I'm trying to really be efficient with my time and like do stuff while I'm here. Speaking of jumping around, I'm gonna go jump on something else because it's 3 o'clock and I can't do anything else really on this truck. I lied, I know what I can do. Mr. In-N-Out's down here. It's a G-rated channel.
Spend your money.
All you gotta do to make $200 million is have 20 dump trucks running and making $200,000 a year. And
Isn't that like 4 million?
I don't know. I was never very good at math. Boy, that's hard to get your whole hand in there. That looks sick, dude. That is awesome. You know when you've done something and you come to the realization that you can't put the poop back? Take two. You know when you've done something and you come to the realization that you can't put the poop back in the goose? I was listening to a podcast and I heard Mike Rowe say that. I thought that was hilarious. I broke down and bought a mag drill. Should have bought one a long time ago. Supposed to work is turn the magnet on. I have literally zero regrets buying that. That is amazing. I think everybody should have a mag drill, honestly. Isn't this just par for the course? Go to turn it on, nothing. The magnet works, but the doesn't turn on. What's up with that? I gotta call the place that sold it to me and figure out what I'm doing wrong, or they owe me a new. All right, so there's a safety on this dumb thing that if it's not on 3/8 inch thick plate, it won't spin the drill. And Han Welding went through and they give you instructions to install this tiny little shunt, is what it's called. It's a bypass, and that turns off the stupid safety nonsense. They would definitely prefer to be on thicker metal. This tank ordeal is just fighting me every step of the way here. It's taken me 2 days and I finally got one bracket mounted. Thank God there's only 3 more to go. I'd hate for this to take a long time. Ugh! 2 days times 3 brackets is like 10 more days. Carry the one. I'll post this video about Christmas. This is like a 2,000 piece puzzle and I have about 3 of the pieces together. But you can't put the poop back in the goose, so. Just test fitting everything here. God, that looks good, dude. Holy cow! I'm excited. So the exhaust is coming out exactly where I want it to. The tank mounts look good. The tank will get centered, of course, but it's not hitting anything. I like it a lot. I can't get over how good those stacks look on this truck. Once you get that thing set up, it really flies. What a great camera view, camera guy. How do you like my sweaty back? The production quality around here is as good as it gets. You can always count on getting exactly what you pay for. It only took somewhere between 2 and 10 days to drill 16 holes. Oh, the beatings will continue until morale improves. I'll put on the old webbing. I've only ever seen the rubber tank protectors. I like these a lot. This is like a canvas. Seems very, very heavy duty. No, I put it in backwards. Perfect. Guys, the truck has 2 tanks again. I am super happy. I gotta run to the wallet draining store and get plugs. I gotta figure out the return line is gonna go on the driver's side, and then I'm gonna do the crossover tube on the bottom, as well as the filter feed. I gotta get a couple valves. I kind of basically have to build like a manifold under there so everything works the way I want it to work. But the tanks are in. I had a mild panic attack this morning. I came down and I was like, man, is that step gonna clear the tank here? And I lowered the cab and it does clear, so. Crisis converted. Daddy! Back from the wallet draining store, a drained but conquering hero. About $6 million worth of brass. Always keep a garbage can close by. That way nothing ends up getting left around. Just a quick tidbit, I prefer using these screw-in valves on the bottom of tanks. I've seen them on a lot of old trucks, and I guess I prefer them over the quarter-turn ball valves because a quarter-turn ball valve could get whacked shut if a stick hit it or something driving down the road. Those you actually have to like turn. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but you can't put the poop back in the goose. This service body's already coming in handy. I built this myself. Before I forget, guys, I made up a bunch of hoodies and t-shirts, long sleeve shirts. I think there's ladies and a couple kid sizes. The Overcomings, link down in the description below.
Where's Max? Is he sleeping?
The last, I guess, big thing I gotta do is finish hooking up these stacks. A little bit of a scratchy business doing this by yourself. But what other option do I have? I'm sitting here arguing with myself because I got a couple options. Right now, the top of my stacks are sitting at like 12'4", which is pretty tall. And I don't love going higher than like 12'6" with stacks because it could limit some places you go. The other option is I cut 14 inches off of the bottom of these stacks and then leave it at 12'6". I just hate cutting chrome. Like the bottom of this has to be like here to get the adapters from 7 to 5 and then the elbows. I don't know, what do you guys think I should do? Run them to 13'6" or cut the chrome? Par for the course. I forgot to turn the camera on while I struggled with that. I don't know. I decided to cut the chrome. I don't want stacks that are 13'6" tall. Don't worry, this hurts me as much as it hurts you. Do a quick measure to make sure my math holds out. 144 inches on the nose. Put that poop back in the goose. Ladies and gentle cars. That looks good. Very, very happy with that.
What? I wasn't doing anything.
A bunch of people want to know how you got your name, Mr. In and Out. Nobody's mother was harmed in the making of this video.
Like some belly rubs, huh?
I just spent the last hour or so down here working on the wiring. So my rear taillight sections are wired in, and I'm starting to move forward with the wiring. I got those watermelon lights that have a specific color that'll come on with a switch in the cab. So I'm just kind of working forward doing that. I need to change the oil filters, the coolant filters, and the oil. I think that's a tomorrow project. Boy, shake.
Good boy.
Hey, take that somewhere else.
Good boys.
Spent a couple hours this morning finishing up the wiring, so that is all done, tied up nice. Before I drop this cab though, I want to change the oil. It's a lot easier to dump 10 gallons in the top than it is that stupid front hole.
I don't see a world where this doesn't make a mess. Who's ready for their level 1 DOT infection? Well, that could have been worse, I guess. I have a waste oil tote out back. I save all of my waste oil for the coming struggle. It is critical to retighten your drain plug. Ask me how I know. I have found the best solution for stubborn oil filters, especially these big ones, is a pair of channel locks. Now before I get going crazy, I'm taking both of them off because they're two different oil filters, or that's what the numbers say. I'm gonna verify that the filters I have are correct for what's here. It happens way too often. You give the guy at the parts store a part number and he took a laxative instead of his blood pressure medication that morning, and the numbers are all screwed up. Trust but verify. This filter does look correct. It's a little bit longer actually, but the size is right. If you leave the plastic on there till you're done, you don't get your filter all dirty. Didn't pan out here for me. It is Sunday, July 12th, 2026. Well, that's gonna be a challenge, isn't it? Good thing it's not so tight in here, you know? Down the hatch you go. There's 5 gallons down the hatch. It's always a good idea to check and make sure that the first 5 gallons didn't go on the ground. You're not very bright, are you? No. What movie's that from? I use this stuff to fill up on my recent 2,000 mile trip. I put some of this in every fill up on my truck. 8 ounces treats 625 gallons. And I got a discount code you can use to get 20% off. Link down in the description below. I've been drinking green tea all day. I bet you that's not yours. Something I didn't think about, but the exhaust doesn't line up and it needs to come up a ways. I'm hoping that I can run it over the top and maybe push this down. I believe I got it. Let's see if this thing will start after sitting for a little while, emptying all the fuel out of it. The thing about a cab over is you're the first on the scene of an accident. I'm out of time for today, but it runs and it sounds really good. So I'll have to rework on that exhaust again and get it out of the way of the shift linkage. I came down here last night because I wanted to figure this out, and I ended up taking the transmission top cover off because I thought maybe something bent. I forgot to mention this. When I had lifted this cab up, it had settled one night and it bent the shift linkage like in a big 90. So I straightened it back out. It wasn't perfect, but it did the job. So what was happening with the shifter was just weird. It felt weird. It would go into like
a couple of the gears, but then it seemed like there was no gears behind it. You know, like you could put it into first, but then when you came back for second and fourth, like gears physically weren't there. And then it seemed like you could push straight through first and third, and then the gears were in front of it and then behind it, but it was weird. So what ended up happening is when I straightened the shifter linkage, it doesn't extend all the way out really anymore. And so you have to put the cab down to put the linkage back together. And there's a lock on that linkage that keeps the steel pipe connected to the shifter. It's hard to explain if you haven't actually seen it, but basically the shifter linkage wasn't locked in. So when I was moving the shifter linkage, I was actually telescoping the shifter linkage in and out instead of shifting the transmission in and out every time. I fixed all that. I now have to go rework this exhaust. I was going to take this thing for a test drive, but my driver's side wheel is locked up. So after further investigation, there's a little bolt that goes in that hole right there, and that had sort of fallen out, and I tried to put it back in and it just popped out again, kind of like it was stripped. This guy right here, I've never seen a slack adjuster like this. I don't know what that is. Maybe a self-adjusting one. I gotta run this thing to, as long as that's free now, I have to run this down to the truck store and get one of those. Because replacing a slack adjuster is exactly what I wanted to do today. I'm still stuck on. World, dude. I'm pretty sure that slack adjuster's bad. I don't understand exactly how they work, but I'm about to figure it out. Let's make a run to the parts store. Parts. The thing was only 57 bucks. I was expecting to have to double the national debt to take it home with me. The old girl does not disappoint. I just fixed the slack adjuster, so this truck is pretty much ready to go, aside from some polishing, which you guys will have to wait and see when I go to the show, which I will film. Let's go take this thing for a test drive. Well, Jesse, that's that. I am gonna do some polishing on the wheels and the tanks and then get the new stuff just shined up really nice. These tanks look absolutely stunning on here. I like the space between the wheels I get back. Makes it easy to get in here and do some stuff. These watermelon lights, hold on a second. Let me show you guys these watermelon lights. I just need to turn off the sun. I saw this on Instagram. If you take a copper pipe and shove it up your the sun. Here's what she looks like at night. This truck came out cherry. How do you like that trick photography? The production quality here is impeccable. Anyway, stacks look amazing. It looks like this guy is hot and falling, so I'll have to address that. Maybe put some kind of hanger or something under there. The mud flaps look absolutely outstanding. I am extremely happy with how this truck turned out. And this isn't a pavement princess, guys. I just loosely committed to buying 5 trucks from one guy, and somebody's got to drag those things home. That guy. The Prime Minister willing, I'm going to be at the Athens Truck Show August 21st and 22nd at G. Tackaberry & Sons Construction, which is 109 Washburn Road. It's a Friday and Saturday show, and I am looking forward to going out there. I'll keep everybody updated as I head that way closer to the dates. And I say Prime Minister willing, I haven't been into Canada in a long time. I have all the paperwork, but you know, who knows if they kick me out at the border or something catastrophic happens. But all those things aside, I'm going to that truck show and I look forward to seeing you guys there. That is all for this video. Thank you guys for watching.